Welcome to the Ozark Hobby Adventurist. I'm Ken, and today on the workbench we're going to talk about CB radios and equipment. Yes, CB radios have been around for a long time. A CB radio, citizen band radio, is something that used to be super popular. You've seen it in movies like Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, stuff like that. And it was a way to communicate. And in order to build one, you kind of got to know a little bit about one. And so what we've got here is my personal radio set up in the corner of the studio. This is my power supply. I have a couple speakers. This is an old trusty speaker. It's gone a lot of places with me. This is my newer speaker. It has a little bit better sound. Got a couple test meters. And then I've got my radio. And this here just happens to be a Cobra 25 GTL. I think it's a 25. I got a couple 25s and some 29s. It's a 25, yep. Alrighty. So anyway, you have a volume control and you have a squelch. And a squelch is like a signal block off. That we don't have to listen to static all the time. You can set it for whatever level you want to block out, and it'll block out anything under that level. Anything that breaks that level, it will let you listen to. And you have your channel selector. So, these are the three most important parts of a CB radio. This happens to have a receive adjustment for sensitivity and microphone gain. I'll turn it on. And so you have like a noise canceling switch. Gets rid of a lot of interference. It has a PA, a public address, so you can put a speaker outside the vehicle and key it up and be able to use it for like a public address system. Then you've got a noise blanker and a dimmer switch, because sometimes that is too much when it's nighttime and you're tired. It's like a beacon in the eyeballs. Alright, well, enough of this silly crap. Let's get to building something. So the first thing we need to build is the actual box for the radio. And so we're going to make it simple. We're going to use some of this really neat pre-squared plastic. You can buy it through Evergreen Plastics. You can buy it through Plastrux. I like it because it makes building simple when you scratch building stuff, trying to fart around and play around with some ideas, and you don't need anything to really cut it, so to speak. And we're going to break off a few pieces here. Let's see, go that way. Now when you go to join these two pieces on your corners, remember to sand them down at a 45-degree angle on the inside. And that way they will fit better. And I got a little sanding stick over here. And give me a minute and I'll have all these done. Our sanding is done. Our gluing is relatively close enough that we can square up a lot of this with some sandpaper on board. We are going to glue a little piece of trim on here. Just like so. And I prevent this so that you can put them on one at a time, because you can sometimes get yourself in trouble by trying to glue too much at one time. Alrighty then. Now we just need to let that dry. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to, once this is dried, then we're going to take and bend these down one at a time and put a weight on it. And since you're not normally going to see the bottom, we're not going to run this all the way around. We're just going to go around the top, and that'll kind of be the trim around the front edge of the radio. Okay, I also am going to drill some holes I'm also going to drill some holes here, here, and one up here, and then we're going to make our little square and our channel selector box. Okay, here we are. Here's what you're really wanting to see. Basically, here's your box. And what we have done is we have sanded the edges round, right? Because they're curved on the, kind of leave a little point there. And as you can see, the piece that we had just put on makes the little trim piece. Now, this isn't actually necessary, but it makes it a lot easier to paint. And so I scribed with my knife blade a little bit for my meters, because they really don't stand out, they're kind of recessed. So now we are down to making the cord. Making the cord. How are you going to do that? Well, actually it's pretty easy. Okay, now here I've got a little piece of cord that was actually off a battery charger. A little piece of wire. It's not very big. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie this into a knot. And then, and the stiffer the insulation, the better off you're going to be here. And then we're going to take this thing and we are going to wind it up as tight as you can. The tighter the better. Alrighty. Then we're going to reach over here and try to get this foot. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it like that on the end. And then you get your favorite color of duct tape. And try not to let that loosen up any at all as you're wrapping your duct tape on there. Alrighty. Now, here comes the fun part. We're going to snip this little piece of wire off right here. And we're going to snip this little piece of wire off right here. So now we're working with this. And this. Alrighty, the whole idea is to get the plastic warm enough that it will relax, and then when it cools it should retain its shape. You're not trying to get it super hot, you just want to get it hot enough for it to get warm. And then you're going to let it cool off, and that's going to take a minute. So we're going to have to do this about 4 times. 4, there we go, 4 times. Okay, we're almost done with our build here. Now the next thing you gotta do is you gotta make your microphone. What I did is basically it is 3/8 of an inch long and roughly 1/4 of an inch wide. I believe this is 1/4 inch tall, 1/2 inch wide, and 3/4 of an inch long. But for this, basically what I did is I took 2 pieces and I glued them together, and then took a little teeny tiny square and glued it center but yet offset. And then once all my glue dried, I took my little nips and I trimmed it down until it looked like that. Now I know this is a little hard to see, but my camera won't do like really super killer good at up close. So this is as close as we get, almost. We take and put a little drop of glue right there. And we are going to glue our little cable cordage right there to the back. I got a little notch right there for it to set in. Try to make sure that that's kind of straight coming out of there. Alrighty. Now we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back and we're going to glue that into the radio. Now that our microphone is dried to the cord, we're going to glue it into the radio. Drill it out a little bit more. There we go. Run it in there a little bit. Alrighty. That'll dry. Now, while that's drying, we are going to take a little piece of Velcro . We're going to stick it on the back of the microphone. And then we're going to take another piece of Velcro. And stick it over here, on this side of the radio. Now, your radio will look like that. And then that could be mounted just about anywhere. So there you go. And there is your scale CB radio. Now if you wanted to get real fancy with it, you could make a mount that comes up and over like a regular mount, but I just as soon use Velcro. You put your Velcro on top, hang it from the ceiling, put your Velcro on the bottom, stick it to the dashboard. I got a little hole drilled in the back for an LED. So these little scribings I have in the front will actually show up if I put a light in there. So anyway, there is an idea for a CB radio, ham radio, some kind of communication radio for your RC rig. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment.